much wiser. Won't you please listen to my song? There is no way I could ever turn back now. Won't you please listen to my song? La 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 la. Listen to my song.
Welcome back to Nellascope. I'm Chris Nella. I'm a singer, producer, songwriter, author, and super dad. The main purpose of Nellascope is to help creatives win with their brand each and every day. And my goal here on Nellascope is to help you avoid the pitfalls of life and make your daily grind 100 times smoother. The format of Nellascope is simple. We have our favorite section, which is Indie Fire, where we play some of the hottest, freshest. Can you smell it? Can you see it? Can you see the steam coming off of the freshest indie music this side of the Mississippi? That's what we do here. We play 100% independent music. And then there's Nella News, where we give topics and things that affect musicians and all other creatives. And then we end each show with moments to be inspired by, where I give inspirational quotes, real life events that help propel me to the next level. Today's topic is What You Got, where we're talking about rehashing our old material, our old songs, our old books, and how to make them profitable. And I'm going to explain to you the way that you can do it and be very successful. But before we get into today's topic, it's time for some piping hot, buttered Indie Fire. Today's Indie Fire segment comes from Yona Marie. The name of her song is Fade Away. Please feel free to follow Miss Marie on all social media platforms. Her music is available wherever music can be downloaded and streamed. So without further ado, here's Fade Away by Yona Marie here on Nellascope the podcast. Enjoy.
Maybe I won't, maybe I will. Say no to fight, sit back and chill. Cut all my losses on the deal. Keep it a buck, we past the thrill. Maybe I'll duck and dodge the calls. Mimic your energy and stall. Tell all my girls who did me wrong. Learn all my lessons from the fall. Or maybe you like me, you love me. You're bluffing, you're thinking, nothing, no. Maybe you're playing, you're jumpy. You're iffy, you're tripping. Why don't you just fade away, fade away, fade away, fade away. I like it when they fade away, fade away, fade away, fade away, fade away. I like it when they fade away. Maybe I should, maybe I can. Say no and block you on the gram. Relay the message to your fam. Tell them I won't be round again. Maybe you wanted us to fail. Got to the cookie, then you bailed. Gather the boys for show and tell. Check off the list, you played it well. Or maybe you like me, you love me. You're bluffing, you're thinking, nothing, no. Maybe you're playing, you're jumpy. You're iffy, you're tripping. Why don't you just fade away, fade away, fade away, fade away. I like it when they fade away, fade away, fade away, fade away, fade away. I like it when they fade away. I like it when you talk slick, take it back down, say you're going through a situation. I like it when you play tricks, having mad plan trips, go, sing it, keep me waiting. I like it when you backtrack, call me mad, crazy for thinking we had something. like it when it's years later. You're hitting my page up like butter. Won't you just fade away, fade away, fade away, fade away. I like it when they fade away, fade away, fade away, fade away, fade away. I like it when they fade away, fade away, fade away, fade away, fade away. I like it when they fade away, fade away, fade away, fade away, fade away. I like it when they fade away.
And again, that was Yona Marie with Fade Away. Her song is available anywhere where streaming music can be played, downloaded, and stored on your devices. Today's topic is what you got. We're going to talk about a couple of ways to rehash what you already have that was successful or not successful. We're going to talk about ways that we can rehash that and make it really pop off today. Now, my inspiration was from legendaryrockinterviews.com. So lately, and over the last couple of years, there has been an increasing trend, so to speak, in creatives in re-releasing some of their older products, some of their older songs. Now, the reason for doing this, it varies depending on the actual creative, on the situation. They may be celebrating the actual release of the song, of the book. So it may be an anniversary, it may be a birthday, it may be a special 25 years or 50 years. Whatever the case may be, it is a growing trend. And I want to bring that to my Nella Nation to tell you how you can re-release what you already have. And I'm going to give you a couple of steps of how we can do it. So I know you're asking, so what reason is there for an artist to take time out of their busy schedule to re-record or to rewrite an older product? The reasons can be different as the personalities from each creative. Many times when songs are being remade or books are being rewritten, many of the songs, many of the books, they will not be very different at all when compared to their original counterparts. However, there are some artists that plan on tweaking, that plan on using what they've learned since their last release 10 years ago, 15 years ago, even 5 years ago. They plan to apply all the tricks of the trade that they've learned, the good and the bad, on that classic release. That is the number one way that you can re-release your old product. You can use your experience that you've learned since that, because I'm quite sure you've learned some nuances that make a better sound or a better book or a better piece of artwork. You can use what you've learned since that time. You may want to use that experience to re-edit a phrase or to re-perform certain parts, like thicken up some background vocals or do a different painting technique or edit an actual phrase in your book to make it more powerful or more compelling. When you do any of those things, rewrite, redo, re-perform the original work, it can breathe new life into certain tracks, into certain things that you've done. Although celebration and improvement are a part of re-releasing past works, Nella Nation, the reason can also serve a monetary purpose. So although you're creating a new work to celebrate an anniversary, or you're creating something that's better than the original, the reason can also serve as a monetary purpose. When it comes to re-recording, you own all the new versions. And I would imagine that applies across the board. But when it comes to re-recording, you own the rights to the new version, assuming that the original version was all under you, produced, written, and composed by you. When you make a new version via revamping, re-editing, remastering, why do you think when you go to iTunes or when you used to go to the CD store, you would see the remastered version? That is another way to make money. When you make a whole new version, it has a whole different ISRC code because it's been remastered under a different frequency. So when it comes to re-recording what you got, you will own the rights to the new versions. Now, the best and most practical reason to re-release any old material is because there was actually a flaw. There was something wrong on if you're a singer, your master copies or the original recordings. It actually had a flaw. it had a little flub in it, or you got too close to the microphone, or you kicked the microphone stand, or it's something that's there. And guess what, guys? That is infinite. And the fact is, if you have some timeless songs, if you've painted some pictures that mean the world to you, but that version just doesn't cut it. You know deep inside that you coughed or you scratched your eyebrow or something like that. It's a flaw. You know deep down inside that there's something that you can do in your power to make it better. And currently, it just doesn't do it justice. Think about it. Nella Nation, it makes great sense to go back and do a new version. Make a new volume. Do a whole new song, but this time, do it with all your heart. And this time, make it as flawless as you can. As a matter of fact, it can be called the flawless edit. You know, it's all about how you market it. Now, here's another reason why, and we're talking about what you got, how to reuse what you already have and make it profitable. Sometimes an older work could be re-released so that it will work with a new medium or be modernized. Social media, everything is flashy, everything is artful. A hand-drawn cover, while though it may be very artistic, it may be actually kind of old school, that is not what's popping. We live in a digital age. It needs to be flashy. It needs to catch attention. It needs to be modernized. And in some cases, your older works, they can be made for the new medium, which is social media. Everything is modernized. Your original mix or your original product has out-of-date sounds, out-of-date colors. It can possibly be repackaged as a soundtrack. You can send it to a music director to possibly try to get on some TV shows. You can send your book to a couple of retailers once it's repackaged as a new modernized version. Sometimes, here's the fact, sometimes you're a step away from changing your cover from black and white to a full out color cover that will modernize it and kick things up a little bit. You understand me? And as far as from the musical perspective, you're a step away from deleting a bleep or a over computerized bass, which was the thing back in the 80s. So you're a step away from changing the sound of your bass to a more natural bass to make a remastered, modernized version of your bestseller, your timeless classic, or a timeless classic to you, even if the sales don't indicate that. If it meant something to you, it'll mean something to someone else. But again, what you did 15 years ago, it may not mesh with today's Photoshop environments or be warm and full, because the tools that are available today, say with solid state logic, with SSL mixing tools, you can get them for a fraction of the price that you could 20 years ago, and their sound is magnificent. So that's today's tech tip. Look up SSL, solid state logic mixing products. Anything you can get your hand on at an affordable price, I recommend it. It is an investment. But back to remodernizing your classic work. When it comes to remodernizing a classic song, one of your favorite bangers, when it comes to that, you want to give your fan base a practical reason for re-releasing. Because if you do that and modernize it and bring it up to speed, fans seem to universally be behind it. But you have to communicate it. And if so, your family, your tribe, your fan base, they'll be behind it. But if you just pop it out on them and just, dress it up and don't make it attractive, honestly, why would they buy it? Or why would they listen? So basically, guys, what you have is a continuous gold mine. Like they say, everything goes in a circle. If you had a good product then, and if it has a timeless feel, more than likely you will have a great product now. So don't count yourself out and don't discount just because the song didn't sell in 1991. Change something on it. If it meant a lot to you then, it'll mean a lot to someone now. Don't throw it away. Don't put it in the trash. Don't put it in file X, as I like to call it. Use what you got. Redo it, remarket it, line it up. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're doing it in the cause of a celebration or something that bothered you and you want to remarket it as a flawless edition, so to speak, there is a fine line of the rehash. Because if you don't be transparent with your tribe, they're going to see it as an attempt to squeeze some more money out of them. You're going to be pimping your fans. So you want to stay away from that You don't want to beat a dead horse. You want people to get excited about the new version of your best work. Guys, I believe in you. Go out there and win. Be great. Carpe diem, my friends. Now, talking about something that's great, it's time for Nella News and more.
Nella News.
Now, today's topic comes from RollingStone.com. The National Independent Venue Association, NIVA, and YouTube have announced a partnership to help independent venues struggling to stay afloat during the COVID-19 pandemic. YouTube and NIVA will work on unique programming that will help bring live performances back into music venues safely. YouTube will also raise awareness and funding for NIVA's Emergency Relief Fund. This could literally be the difference between some venues going under or holding on until Congress comes back from recess to pass much needed federal relief. The independent concert industry will be reeling for years to come from the devastating revenue loss related to COVID-19. So we're excited about what YouTube and NIVA can do together to bring the live experience back. Guys, for all of you club owners, for all of you artists, follow the National Independent Venue Association and YouTube. It was brought to you first here at Nellascope the podcast. And another point I want to bring up on this edition of Nella News, the Nella Nation favorite supergroup, the Agape Music Group, is up for 4 awards. That's right, guys. They're up for 4 awards at the Key of Gospel Awards, and the voting ends September the 15th. So go and show your love on the Key of Gospel Award voting site. We're going to vote for the Agape Music Group. They're up for 4 awards, guys. Nella Nation, get out there and show your love. And that was Nella News. Now it's time for Moments to be Inspired by. This is where I give inspirational quotes, things that really made the difference and propelled me to another level in life. Today's quote is very simple, but very powerful. Our greatest fear should not be a failure, but at succeeding at things in life that don't really matter. Again, our greatest fear should not be a failure, but at succeeding at things in life that don't really matter. And that was Moments to be Inspired by. Nella Nation, episode 6, season 2. It's a wrap. Thank you so much for listening to Nellascope and continuing to support us. Don't forget you can reach me at NellaSCPPOD@gmail.com. I'm available on IG. That's the best way to reach me. IG at Nellascope. That's NELLA Scope on IG. If you haven't already shared the podcast, make sure that you do. Our mission is to become the #1 music podcast in the universe. We're going to keep delivering this premium content and affecting creatives' lives. On today's show, we talked about what you got. We talked about how to rehash your old product. We talked about some successful ways that you could do that and be profitable. Our Indie Fire segment was Miss Yona Marie with Fade Away. That song is available on all streaming platforms. And in Nella News, we talked about YouTube and NIVA. And all of you performing artists, you really want to watch that plan to make sure that in your city, in your town, in your state, you're being taken care of. Because, hey, guys, it's some uncertain times. But Nellascope is here with you through them all. So, guys, make sure you keep sending in that feedback. It really makes a difference. The fact is, it really inspires me. I'd like to thank all of my listeners around the world and in different continents. We got Italy, we got Brazil, we got Thailand, we got Canada, we got Netherlands, we got Ireland, Guatemala, Jamaica, France, Switzerland, Australia, Spain, India. And this week we have a new addition to the worldwide Nella Nation, Europe. And of course, here in the USA. Thank you for taking time out of your day in your different time zones, in your different continents to listen to Nellascope. Make sure you tune in next week where the topic is going to be Every Day I'm Hustling. We're going to talk about some creative ways for you guys to make money using your brand. This is not going to be an envelope stuffing scheme or anything like that. We're going to talk about your skills, your skill set, and how you can use that and be profitable. Guys, I love you, but God loves you more. Allow that to sizzle in your spirit. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to deliver this premium content around the world. I'm Chris Nella. Thanks for listening. I will see you next week. and I'm gone.